friend, welcome to episode 3 of What's the Plan? Personal Growth for Busy Moms. My name is Sharon and I am so glad that you are here. So today's episode is going to be all about 3 hacks that can help you jumpstart your personal growth journey. Back in episode 1, if you had a chance to check that out, we talked about what personal growth for moms is and what it looks like. So if you are ready to get started on your personal growth journey, this episode is going to be for you. Let's dive in. So the first hack for starting your personal growth journey is to get yourself a notebook. That sounds super random, but this here is my notebook. I lovingly call it my map book because it is the place that I store all the things, including my personal growth journey. So I strongly recommend that you go out and purchase one of these. My budget recommendation is 99 cents. I have found that I've always been more successful with notebooks that I feel less stressed about, less intimidated by. So definitely go out and get yourself a notebook, and we're going to be diving deeper into that in the next few episodes as we talk about what the map book is, how to use it, and I'm actually going to walk you through my quarterly review process just a few episodes from now. I'm really excited for that. So definitely go ahead and get your hands on a notebook. If you're super curious and you need to know what's next, what's coming, check out the link below. The link below will bring you to the 5-day notebook challenge, which is all you have to give is your email address, and you will receive emails for 5 days that walk you through the steps for setting up your notebook. So definitely check that out if you can't wait. Otherwise, episode 4 is all for you about how my notebook, my 99-cent notebook, saved my life. Dramatic? You'll have to find out. You'll have to wait and see. So my second hack for you on your personal growth journey is to identify where you fall on what I call the personal growth triangle. So on my own personal growth journey, I developed this concept of personal growth really being like a triangle. On the base of the triangle, you have sort of your level 1. So that's the foundation. You have things here like habits, routines, relationships, basic systems. That makes up the basis of your triangle. It's the foundation for everything else. As you start to grow, you move to level 2. Level 2 of the triangle is where you start to be inspired by people. You become a little more consistent. Your systems become a little bit more complex. You're being inspired by others and their personal growth journeys. And you're beginning to develop and go further on your own. That third level, the highest level of the triangle, is where you are so close to living your dream life vision. You are taking risks. You are making big changes or getting ready to make big changes in your life. Your systems are more nuanced, more customized for you and effective. They are consistent. When something comes up, you have that really quick turnaround. You're not falling to the wayside like maybe you would have before. So you're really kind of honing and building on all of those base skills. So the reason I introduce you to the triangle is because I'm going to be using the triangle to label these videos so that while you are deciding what content you want to consume, you can look in the corner and see that triangle to have a sense of where you want to focus your attention. My disclaimer is if you decide that you're a level 1, do not be turned off and avoid level 2, level 3 videos just because you feel like you're not there yet. If you're interested in the content, for sure, check it out. These are very fluid levels. I don't want you to be intimidated by that. So you may be wondering, okay, Sharon, I understand the levels, but how the heck do I know which level I'm on? So glad that you asked. In the description below, you will find a 5-minute assessment that you can take. All you have to do is insert your email address. You will get your 5-minute assessment. It will ask you to rate 9 or 10 statements and will help you decide where you currently fall on the triangle. So that will help you identify sort of where you are right now, and then that will help you to identify where you're going, and then hopefully you'll be able to use the triangle as a bit of a guide on your personal growth journey. So I'm really excited about that for you. So my third hack for getting started with your personal growth journey and really jumpstarting that is to create your dream life vision. I've been throwing that term around a little bit, and I wanted to take a minute to really clarify what I mean by that and how you can dig deeper into it. So your dream life vision is the ideal version of your life in the future. So whether that's a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the end of your life, like whatever timescape you choose, your dream life vision takes place in there. So you are thinking about things like what kind of job you want to have, how you want to spend your time, what interests you have, what core values you have, and start moving towards those things. Personally, when I think about my dream life vision, I like to think in 3-year chunks. As a mom of, my kids are 5 and 7. So thinking 5 years from now kind of blows my mind a little bit. I can't even think about having a 12 and 10-year-old. But 3 years is doable. 3 years I can conceptualize. So I like to do my dream life vision 3 years into the future. And I'll explain this process in just a second. But I wanted to take a moment to point out that my YouTube channel is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm using this context to share with you sort of like a snippet. And on the podcast, I really dive deeper into the content. So on today's podcast episode, which you can find on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you find your podcasts, we will be going into the actual prompts for the dream life vision. Think of this as like kind of a watered down SparkNotes version of it, and you can get more of the content over there. Okay, so back to our dream life vision. So if you already have a notebook, this would be a great thing to put in your notebook to kind of track it. If you don't have a notebook, no worries. Just grab a piece of paper, sticky note, Google Doc, what have you, and go ahead and figure out what today's date is. Do that first. Got it? Okay. And write down 3 years in the future. Put that date on the top of your page. Then go ahead and think about, okay, what would I want my dream life to look like 3 years from now? So on that date, look at that date. On that date, what is happening in your life? I encourage you to set a timer for this activity. I find that lasts like 2 minutes before the timer goes off. All my like really nitty gritty ideas come out, which are the ones that actually motivate me the most. So challenge yourself to kind of push the envelope a little bit and think beyond the like, where am I going to live? What car am I going to drive? And think about like really how you're going to spend your time and little details like that. Again, on the podcast, you will find some more nuanced questions to kind of lead you through this, almost like a guided visualization, if that helps you. So be sure to check that out. Whew. Okay, so mama, I hope you are feeling super inspired to start your personal growth journey. So I shared with you 3 different hacks today. The first one was getting your hands on a notebook. Remember, the map book challenge is below if you want to check that out. Your second hack was to think about the triangle. You can do an assessment to figure out what level of the triangle you're on and to help you kind of guide your way through the content. And then your third hack for starting your personal growth journey was to start thinking about your dream life vision. Remember, your dream life vision is something you're going to come back to over and over and over again, especially if you do any coaching with me or if you do any of sort of the group classes that I'm going to be offering in the future. We're going to be diving really deeply into that. So that's super exciting. Next week's episode, I mentioned earlier, but is going to dive even more deeply into the map book. So we will be talking about what the map book is, why I use it, and why I am obsessed with it, and how it saved my life. So be sure to check that out. If you would like to follow along between episodes, you can find me on @growthcoach4busymoms over on Instagram. This week, I am going to be sharing a little bit more about my personal growth journey in my Instagram stories, so be sure to check that out. And of course, don't forget to subscribe down below so that you don't miss next week's episode. Thank you so much for being here, Mama. I hope you have a great day. Bye.